Object-oriented programming is made up of 4 essential pillars. There is encapsulation, which is the binding or wrapping of code and data together into a single unit. There is abstraction, which is hiding internal details while showing functionality. There's polymorphism, which is just a fancy word for taking different forms. And this happens when one task is performed in several different ways. And then you have inheritance. And this happens when a child or derived class acquires the properties and behaviors of the parent class or object. Abstraction in Java is the process of hiding certain details of an object and only exposing essential information to the user. This is achieved with either using an abstract class or an interface. In the example, we have a shape, which is an abstract class. It has the properties color and a method to calculate the area, and also another method to get the color. From our abstract class, we have 2 concrete classes, circle and rectangle, which are both inheriting from our shape class. And they're also overriding the area method and providing their own implementation of that method. An abstract class is a class that is declared using the abstract keyword. It may or may not include abstract methods. Abstract classes cannot be instantiated, but they can be subclassed. Encapsulation is a mechanism of wrapping the data and the code acting on that data together as a single unit. This is where accessors and mutators come into play. Accessor methods return the value of a private variable and gives other classes access to that value which is stored in that variable. A mutator method is used to reset the value of a private variable, and it also gives the other classes the access to be able to reset that value as well. Inheritance in Java is a process of defining a new class based on an existing class by extending its common data members and methods unless a class is declared using the final keyword. And this is one of the relationship types or association types in Java. It is a strong association. So every inheritance is a form of association and it represents an is-a relationship. And in our example, we see that triangle is a type of shape. There are 5 different types of inheritance. However, we'll just be looking at a few of these. There is the single, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple, and hybrid type of inheritance. An object of the child class can use all the members defined in the child class in addition to all the non-private members defined in the parent class. In Java, we use the extends keyword to implement inheritance, and some examples of other keywords which are used in inheritance are the super keyword, and super is used to refer to the superclass members. As stated before, polymorphism simply means many forms, and it occurs when we have classes related to each other by inheritance. Inheritance allows us to inherit the attributes and methods from a parent class. Polymorphism uses those methods to perform an action in several different ways. In the example, we have an animal class, which is the parent class or superclass, and we have a child class, dog, which extends the animal class and is inheriting all of its properties. In Java, association refers to the relationship between multiple objects. It can either be inheritance, composition, or aggregation. In our composition example, we see a strong association where engine is a part of a car. In our aggregation example, we see a weaker association where a department has a student, and a department can exist independently of a student. Without an engine, a car cannot run, and an engine is useless without a car. Here's a comparison of method overriding versus overloading. They are both types of polymorphism. However, overriding involves inheritance and at least two classes, and overloading has nothing to do with inheritance and only involves one class. So you can pause the video here and read through this table to look at some of the comparisons of overriding and overloading methods. Now let's look at static and constant variables. So static variables are members that belong to a type or class itself rather than an instance of that type. And this will be explained better in our demo that is coming up. A constant is a variable whose value cannot change once it has been assigned. And a constant is created using the final and static keywords. An enum is a special data type that is used to define a variable which contains a collection of constants. So it can contain constants, even methods, and constructors. In our example, we have a day enum, and it contains all the days of the week as constants. Now, when talking about access specifiers, it's important to know that there are different access levels which determine if other classes can use a particular field or attribute or invoke a particular method. There are two levels of access control. There is the top level, which includes public or package private with no explicit modifier, and secondly at the member level, which includes public, private, protected, or package private.